Theater kids are weird little freaks, I'm sorry to say it. My source, I was one. I have been in a play every school year of my life since the 8th grade. I'm sorry, what's that? In high school, you scored the game-winning Hail Mary in overtime and got to plant a big ol' smooch on the prom king at the homecoming game? That's cool. In high school, I learned how to do the Charleston, so why don't you pipe down, little guy? I loved the theater so much, I majored in it. I am a professional theater kid. Do you understand me? I paid thousands of dollars, moved across the country, and took out so many student loans just to keep doing the Charleston. Oh my God, what have I done? Looking on the bright side, college was incredibly easy. There was absolutely no fear of me not graduating. I saw all of my friends get so stressed about mountains of papers and the exams, and I was just sitting there like, well, I practiced my tap dancing, I did my deep breathing exercises, so yeah, that's my calendar clear for the next 2 weeks. I took a voice class my senior year, and for our final exam, we had to act out our own births. Do you hear me? We had to act out our birth. We were all laying on the ground in the fetal position. The lights were dim, there was nice music, everything was peaceful. And then one by one, our professor would walk up to us and go, all right, she's pushing. And then we would have to scream and cry as we were pushed out of our mother's womb. This was 60% of our grade. Worst part of it is, I got a B. That sounds like a bit, but I swear to God, that is true. How? What could I have improved? Was my birth not sufficient? There were other parts of the exam. I just think it's really funny to imagine that my entire grade hinged on this one birth scene. My professor's just sitting in the corner like, unbelievable. You're screaming like a preemie, but you're clearly a C-section baby. What the fuck is this performance? It was a very strange class, and I had many others like it. In fact, a lot of directors and professors have these weird exercises that they put their actors through so that they can find themselves or whatever, and then they can play their character that much better. All theater kids know that if you've ever been in a serious play, the director has made you walk around the room pretending to be an animal with your body language. I don't know why. It always happens. I'm not sure how this will help me play a better Hamlet, but sure, I'll walk around the room as a penguin, whatever you want. Only in a theater class will a motherfucker bring people to tears by walking around the room like a T-Rex. Oh my God. He just looks so present. Just look at him. In one of my rehearsals, we had to stand in front of our scene partners and mirror all of their movements exactly like a mirror. Because there is nothing that gets you into character like mimicking your greasy scene partner, Michael. What is this helping with? What are we doing here? There's clown training where you have to pick your nose and then chase someone else around the room with the booger on your finger. That's real, I swear to God. The injury rate for that exercise has gotta be astronomical. Just imagine a fucking feral theater kid running at you with a booger on his finger. You gotta hit him. You put that kid down like a 14-year-old golden retriever. Do you understand me? There are some directors, bad directors. Let me make that clear. They want you to draw on your real life traumas in order to heighten a scene or whatever. But that always just ends with some 43-year-old director grilling a poor 10th grader on his biggest insecurities in front of his friends. Stop, cut. James, come here. Yes, sir? Hey, bud, have you ever been cheated on? What? I said, have you ever been cheated on? Yeah, but how did you know that? Stupid fucking friends told me. Why would they give you that information? Yeah, they told me you told Megan McAllister you loved her more than anyone else in the world, and then next week she cheated on you and got together with Brian Duffield. Oh, sucks. That's terrible. Oh, it's awful. Thought you were gonna be together forever, but she left you. She left ya. For a loser. For a fucking loser. How could you lose her to that guy? Have you seen him? Have you seen him? He looks horrible. How'd you do that? How'd you lose her like that? How'd you lose her like that? It's your fault. Do you understand? It's your fault. You got her a promise ring, left you next week. How'd that make you feel? Sad, yeah, right. No, I bet. Then tell me why I can't see that in your fucking performance. Get away, get out of my sight. Get away from me. All right, everyone take it from the top. Top of Jellicle Cats. 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, we've gotten a lot closer in the past 4 minutes and 39 seconds. It is time for me to be really vulnerable with you all right now. I was an improv kid. That's right, I was one of the worst strain of theater kids. Hey there, everybody. We are gonna be playing a game called Say It Again. So for this game, we are gonna need your favorite form of transportation. That was me. That was me. These are my sins laid bare before you. And not for nothing, we were kind of hot shit on campus. We maybe packed out a lecture hall whenever we had shows. We even went to improv competitions. Did you hear me? We competed at improv comedy. How much worse can humanity get? Improv competitions have a weird energy to them. Imagine like all the strangest college students you've ever met. Put them all in the same room and then have them try to make each other laugh. It is an odd time. Add to that the fact that some of these people got like way too competitive over this type of thing. All around the venue, there is just scrawny dudes in Pulp Fiction t-shirts drinking Monster Energy and doing fucking stretches like they're about to drop into Vietnam or something. Brother, your team name is Shenanigans. You are not bringing home the gold tonight. You're playing Freeze and Justify to a room of 23 people. If you've ever been to an improv show, you know that they can be really fun, but they could also be the worst thing that you've ever seen. I personally think hell is just one really long, really bad improv show. This is your eternity. They have locked the doors. You cannot leave. Now go sit down and tell that demon your favorite form of transportation.
Yeah, brother, I kind of need your fucking suggestion to make the scene work, so.
If you want to have like a bad time, just look up improv game World's Worst and then scroll down for like 4 minutes. You will see the worst video you've ever seen in your life. A bad improv video makes Live Leak look tame. I know I just dogged on improv for a while, but like some of the best moments of my life are on that improv team, so maybe take it all with a grain of salt, perhaps. And as bad as improv can be, I think there is one facet of theater that is much worse. Musical theater. Yeah, I do not really like musicals, to be honest with you. Sometimes I feel like a bit of a pariah in the theater community because I do not care for musical theater. On top of that, I can't sing or dance. That's right, one of the main things that theater kids do, I am horrible at. You know, I guess genetically I just wasn't born with perfect pitch or a beautiful singing voice that all musical theater kids are blessed with, okay? I did my first play when I was 13 years old, and you may know that puberty is not the kindest to the vocal cords. I remember once I was in choir practice and it was being led by our 18-year-old student director, and she got so frustrated that I could not hit the notes that she started crying and left the room. I guess she thought that I was messing up on purpose just to fuck with her, but I was trying my best. I even tried getting vocal lessons to improve my voice, but then my parents saw the price tag on those lessons and they were like, why don't you join the football team? When I say I don't like musical theater, I think a lot of people just assume that I don't like going to the theater at all, but that's not true. I love plays, like with no singing involved. Those are sick. There are tons of really awesome plays out there. Death of a Salesman, The Bald Soprano, The Pillow Man. These are all like awesome, weird, sometimes insane pieces of art that I adore. There's a play called The Goat by Edward Albee, and it's about a dude who has sex with a goat, and he has to tell his family about it. Isn't that cool? It's actually a good play, I swear. And listen, musicals can be fun too. I mean, seeing a musical in person, great. I'm just never gonna like listen to the soundtrack on my daily commute, you know what I mean? Maybe I don't like musicals because I'm just jealous of people who can sing. Yeah, maybe I just like resented all of my friends for getting leads in the musicals while I was just backstage like, oh my god, he's so fucking cool, I want to do that. One thing that musicals do that is just unforgivable is turn children into absolute freaks, I will say that. Amongst the general community, theater children are seen as loud, annoying, attention-seeking problem children that throw tantrums whenever they get cast in the ensemble. And I am here today to tell you all of that is true. However, I think it's kind of a good thing. Stay with me. Hold on. So many kids spend so much of their school life repressing their inner emotions or feelings because they feel like embarrassed or cringe or shameful, and that sucks. These roadblocks do not exist for many theater children. The theater kind of cultivates an environment of all-around acceptance, openness, weirdness, all-around freak behavior. Kids are supposed to be loud and annoying and awkward, and I think it would do some more good if a lot more kids would let go of like cringe and embarrassment and would just be themselves. And I think that's what the theater cultivates, and I think that's fucking awesome. However, I think a byproduct of that is really annoying kids, but I can't really blame them. Theater kids are spending their developmental years in a Denny's parking lot, like blasting the Hamilton soundtrack, and that'll fuck with anyone's brain chemistry, I will be honest with you. One thing is that theater kids are always like absolute freaks for some reason. If you knew a kid in high school who experimented with sex and drugs, then they were either in theater or marching band, for sure. Why is that? It's so strange to me. It just doesn't feel like it should correlate, but it always does for some reason. They're just like scores of kids that are like, hey man, what's up? I'm gonna go freebase MDMA after Into the Woods rehearsal. You in? Hey, what the fuck do you mean, Colton? You take tap dance lessons. Where the fuck did you pick up this hardcore drug habit? See, my friends and I did theater in a little Christian school, so instead of freaks, we just became fucking losers. While other theater kids were seeing God on shrooms or whatever, we were just sitting at home like, guys, we should really pull a prank on the girls in the cast. Hey bud, why don't you go drink a beer? If you happen to be a theater kid watching this, please never change. Keep being yourselves, keep being loud and brash and embarrassing. It is good for your soul. Theater kids, definitely weird, but it's just because they have found a space where they are comfortable enough to be themselves and they have a loving community supporting them. And that is fucking beautiful. Almost all of my closest friends have come from theater in one way or another. And I truly hope that every kid is lucky enough to be surrounded by a community like the one you'll find in a theater. However, if you are a theater kid and you get the urge to walk into a Denny's after a performance wearing your stage makeup while scream singing Wicked throughout the entire restaurant, then repress that urge. Please, God, do not do it. That's it. Subscribe. I got a longer video that's different coming out next time, so it might take a little bit, but cool. Thanks. Bye.